Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda and I are grateful to have you for WGXA News on YouTube live at 5:30.
An active evening across the mid-state with heavy downpours and frequent lightning.
Let's go to meteorologist Ryan Marando live in the Weather Center for those details. Ryan.
Greg, Amanda, we've been tracking these storms that have continued to move across the mid-state right now. We've got a lot of frequent lightning strikes. Luckily, we don't have any severe warned storms out right now, but some of the heaviest right now is coming south of Macon through areas of Macon County, Peach County, and also into Houston County through Fort Valley, Marshallville, Perry, getting that heavy downpour, the frequent lightning strike. We're going to move this a little farther to the east, just moving out of Lawrence County into Soperton and into Trutland County, seeing a lot of the heavy downpours as well. Areas Macon into the northward, it's mostly some light to moderate rain, not a lot of frequent lightning strikes through Macon, Bibb County, up through Monroe County as well. And it's definitely going to be a good idea to keep your eye to the skies. We still do have a threat for some severe storms over the next few hours. The primary threat, if we do see any of that, will be for damaging winds or for large hail. A gloomy look out of downtown Macon with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Got some of that rain there off into the distance. So as you're planning out your Wednesday night, we will still have some of those thunderstorms around. Again, a good idea to keep your eye to the sky, as one or two of them may still turn for severe. But then tomorrow we have a wedge setup that looks like it's going to be setting up. And that's going to be all about temperature variation plus even more rain for tomorrow. I'll break it all down for you coming up in your full forecast. Greg, Amanda.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Marando. Now's a great time to download that WGXA weather app. Ryan is back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast.
Continuing coverage on a Macon-Bibb court triple murder trial today in the courtroom. Heard from officers from Tampa where Caesar Crockett was arrested.
Now, Brianna Cook was at the courthouse all day, and she brings us more about today's testimony. Brianna?
Day 2 of the Caesar Crockett trial began today. Crockett is accused of killing the mom, stepfather, and sister of his son's mom in 2020. He is also accused of kidnapping his son after the murders and taking him to Florida before surrendering after a 6-hour standoff. Several witnesses from Tampa, Florida testified this morning. Afternoon testimony was led by a firearm expert and Fulton County medical examiner. Witnesses say Crockett led the police in Florida on a high-speed chase with his 2-year-old son in the car before crashing into a semi-truck. He then had a 6-hour standoff with police where he held a gun to his own head. Whitney McGormick, Tampa Police Lieutenant, was the lead on the negotiation during the standoff. She says Crockett made several statements about killing himself and also asked how his girlfriend Jamila French was doing.
He explained to me that he had just snapped and that he had made a big mistake. During that basically there was no coming back from this, and he was concerned that he needed to take his life because of the fact that there was no coming back from this and that he did not want to go to jail. His statement was that she should be okay. She got out of the house after I shot. He said, when I shoot myself, I'm going to turn my head down so that when the bullet goes through it, it won't hit you all.
The medical examiner concluded all 3 victims died from a homicide. Day 3 of the trial is expected to start tomorrow. Caesar Crockett will take the stand to testify, and we will be there to update you online and on air. Reporting live in studio, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
Thanks, Brianna. 2 teens are facing major charges after leading Bibb County deputies on a high-speed chase in a stolen car. Deputies say the duo stole a car out of Warner Robins, and when authorities attempted to pull them over at Mercer University Drive and Bloomfield Drive, the 2 teens refused to stop. They say they led deputies on a chase, and then they bailed from their vehicle on Westminster Drive and were arrested. Both teens now face charges in connection to the stolen car and the chase. One teen was already wanted for underage firearm possession and drug charges.
And a shooting victim out of Sumter County has been found out of state. The GBI was looking for Corey DeRizio in Americus after a January shooting. He was considered armed and dangerous. DeRizio was arrested in Minnesota after a high-speed chase. Sumter County officials say DeRizio will be extradited back to Georgia on multiple felony charges.
Traffic is back up and running on I-75 in Macon, but this is the scene from earlier today after 2 military vehicles were caught up in a wreck. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says it happened just after 1 on the southbound side near the Pierce Avenue interchange. Traffic was backed up for several miles during the cleanup, which included a diesel spill. No one was hurt in the wreck, and no details have been released about what caused that wreck.
We're getting new details on the arrest of Dion Patterson, the man facing murder charges for the deadly shooting at an Atlanta medical office. Georgia authorities have released the body cam video of his arrest. Now in it, you can hear officers ordering him to the ground, advancing with weapons drawn as he kneels. He is then handcuffed and taken into custody. According to his mother, Patterson is a former Coast Guard member who became violent during an appointment because he could not get a prescription for an anxiety medicine.
Atlanta police believe he carjacked the vehicle, which he used to flee the scene with after shooting 4 people, killing 1. He later abandoned the car near the Atlanta Braves Stadium in Cobb County. Patterson was captured at a nearby condominium complex after a nearly 8-hour manhunt. A girl missing for 6 years is back with her dad after the show Unsolved Mysteries featured her story. Kayla Abina went missing from the Chicago area in 2017 when she was 9 years old. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says someone spotted the girl, now 15 years old, in Asheville, North Carolina. A store employee reportedly recognized her because of the coverage of her disappearance. Police say this is one example of why it's so important for people to speak up.
It is unusual, but it's good that when someone does suspect that they recognize someone, no matter how old the story might be, that they are not afraid to give us a call so we can come investigate.
The girl's non-custodial mother, Heather Abina, is charged with abducting her. Bond is set at $250,000, and Abina faces extradition to Illinois.
We're getting an idea of where Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller wants the county to focus its resources. Last night, Miller proposed his budget plan for the 2024 fiscal year.
Our Glory Ruth Finney breaks down the mayor's proposals for us.
Nearly $203 million. That's how much Macon Mayor Lester Miller is proposing for the city's spending budget in 2024. And echoing previous budgets, public safety has the biggest price tag, with $55 million planned for the sheriff's office and $30 million for the fire department.
We're putting our money where our mouth is on public safety.
Miller says including $1.8 million, rewarding some of those within the sheriff's office, fire department, and emergency management agency.
So we can reward those men and women that have been here for a while and have stayed here consistent with Macon-Bibb County, so we don't have as much turnover here.
And for the 4th year in a row, the mayor expects an even lower millage rate, resulting in lower property taxes.
And this year, we have at least a 5 mil reduction to get us to a 12.901 millage rate, which will be the lowest in our history, but we're not done yet. We still have some more work to do when we get that in this year, and of course, next year, we expect a lower millage rate again for a 4th year in a row.
And in continuing Macon's beautification efforts, the mayor is proposing a nearly $2 million increase there after Clean Streets Matters has cleaned up 6.5 million pounds of trash and debris from nearly 600 illegal dumping sites.
Yes, we don't want to be in the business of cleaning up behind grown folk, but unfortunately, today is where we have to do that.
The mayor says it can be discouraging to see a street get cleaned and then become dirty again. But he says he will continue to send the message that this is something he won't settle for. He says along with enforcing that where the city can, it will continue taking care of the problem.
A public hearing for the budget will take place on June 6th, with the commission voting on the 2024 budget proposal June 20th. Gone are calls for a clean debt limit extension. Democrats are changing their tune, at least in regards to how they talk about the Republicans' handling of the limit. Moving away from painting the GOP as hostage takers, here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer yesterday after meeting with President Biden and others.
We don't have much time, but default is just the worst alternative, and having a bipartisan bill in both chambers is the only way we're going to avoid default.
Those he trusts to negotiate with House Republicans on a way forward. He has laid out red lines, including no peeling back the IRA or social programs like Medicare, but also made concessions, saying he is now open to some spending caps. They have until June 1st to strike a deal. The much talked about end of Title 42, that controversial immigration law allowing the quick expulsion of immigrants based on COVID concerns, has come and gone. And while the immediate impact is not as severe as some warned, others say the problem is now hitting home in cities across America.
Scott Thuman shows us why Democrats are now joining Republicans and insisting that President Biden must do more to find a solution.
You're not gonna do this to us. You picked the wrong neighborhood and the wrong school.
Students and parents in New York protesting their school gymnasium being used as a shelter for migrants, many of them sent to the city from Texas.
We have a crisis that's been brought to our country, our state, our city, and now it's in our schools, and how soon until it's in our homes. These children deserve better.
Mayor Eric Adams, a staunch President Biden supporter, now also a critic.
Where the heck is the President of the United States?
That is a good question, and I think we all should be asking, why is this happening to a city that...
I don't know quite how we got to the point where you have the mayor of the largest city in the country in a kind of public spat with his brother Democrat, who's the President of the United States.
Hola. Mayor Adams was sending the overflow to other parts of the state, but that led to complaints, and a judge ended the practice. And from Denver to Washington, D.C., mayors are asking for more help, some now requesting a meeting with President Biden, who says the post-Title 42 surges didn't match many fears.
They have gone down. My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do. And we need some more help from the Congress as well.
I'm advocating don't send them to D.C. or San Francisco or even the vice president's front door. As fun as that is, you send them back to their country of origin.
Florida's Governor DeSantis, meanwhile, announcing he'll send roughly 1,000 National Guard soldiers and police officers to Texas, along with drones, boats, and planes to help control the influx. Many Democrats admitting the system is broken, but say Republicans have to share some of that blame, that they've had multiple opportunities over the years to come to the table and pass comprehensive reforms. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
And other political headlines, House Democrats want George Santos expelled from the chamber and fast.
To either stand with the American public and their constituents, or to stand with someone who has been indicted on 13 counts.
And Robert Garcia, who just introduced a solution to expel Santos. The embattled New York Republican was indicted last week by the Justice Department for wire fraud, money laundering, and theft of public funds. Garcia's resolution attempts to force the House to vote on it within 2 days, meaning if 2/3 of the House support it, Santos would be out.
But House Speaker Kevin McCarthy wants the House Ethics Committee to finish an investigation into Santos first, and there's indications that the rest of his party feels the same and would not vote to expel Santos.
I'd probably vote no. I'd like to see, I still think we got due process in this country. Of course, that's going to come back when we have a Democrat who does something, which will happen. It'll go back and forth. So I suspect, I'd like to see, let the courts do their thing.
Now, the vote is meant to put Republicans on the record with Santos.
Hundreds of people poured into Atlanta City Hall this week to oppose the development of a planned public safety training center. Critics call the project Cop City. The training center has been the focus of protests for months, including a shooting where authorities say a protester was killed after opening fire on state troopers. Tori Cooper has more.
Stop Cop City! Stop Cop City!
Stop Cop City echoing through Atlanta City Hall as hundreds poured into council chambers, voicing their opposition against the planned public safety training center.
I think it clearly shows that the public has no interest in this project and that this is not something that the city should be investing their money in.
Lindsay Taylor was among the 288 people who waited to give public comment, a scene that started with a rally outside City Hall. Public comment is expected to last upwards of 9 hours as we saw person after person cling to the city council to not use public funds for this training facility.
And there are so many better ways to spend that dollar.
Atlanta police and city officials have continually stressed that this facility is needed to train and recruit officers. Those today refuted that.
You know what? If you're even a big fan of cops, there's still so many issues with this project and the damage that it's already doing to our community. Stop it now.
In 1962, President John F. Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day. It falls during what is now known as National Police Week. It's a time when communities around the country, including right here in Middle Georgia, honor law enforcement and those we've lost.
Carlos Stevens was at the Warner Robins Police Department today and saw how they honored those who serve.
Thank you for stepping into such situations that I would never dare think about stepping into.
Wednesday morning started with prayer at the Warner Robins Law Enforcement Center, followed by a message of thanks to the men and women who put their lives on the line for the city of Warner Robins every single day. Crime scene investigator Antonio Vallejo says while he's not a thank you for your service type of guy, the appreciation shown means the world.
When you're going back-to-back calls and you're having to fluctuate from maybe dealing with an armed suspect 1 minute and then dealing with an elderly individual next minute, you have to be able to adapt psychologically to two different kind of scenarios. I'm keyed up on one, I'm ready for violence on one, and the next I have to tone that down. So having the public understand and know that we are human, but just saying, hey, appreciate it, or just, hey, wave, thank you for your service, it does mean a lot.
Southside Baptist Church lead pastor Matt Walls says he's friends with many police officers in the community, and hearing the stories he hears encourages him to lift them up.
Some work during the day, some work during the night, and the things that they see and the things that they're exposed to. And we need to be praying for their mental and emotional health, their safety and protection. And we need to do our part to show them and tell them, hey, we're praying for you and we're here for you, we're rooting for you. What can we do to help you do what you do?
National Police Week continues Wednesday at the Law Enforcement Center from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the Night of Blue Lights. Reporting in Warner Robins, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
Well, in Dublin, the VA hospital is working to promote healthy living across the nation. Today, the hospital hosted their annual VA 2K Walk and Roll. It's all in an effort to encourage people to live active lifestyles and allow participants to support homeless veterans.
So part of whole health is not only dealing with just the physical body, but the mind, body, spirit. And we have 8 different areas that we look at. It's not only, like I said, it's not only just the body, but we look at what we eat, what we drink, our restoring area, our surroundings. So again, if you walk through here, you'll see there's many different things that we address.
VA medical centers across the nation host these free events, which often include a 2K walk and donations for veterans in need. Today, the veterans of foreign wars celebrated their 2nd annual day of service. The Hawkinsville VFW Post 6077 is serving their community with the VA 2K race in Dublin today. One VFW leader says it's about leaving a lasting impact on the community.
And what it's all about is going out in the community and doing something to help veterans, to assist them. It can be taking a veteran to a doctor's appointment. It can be mowing the yard. It could be building a ramp.
VFW members all over the country are giving back to their communities to emphasize the important role veterans play as community leaders and volunteers. They hope to inspire others to follow suit.
Bibb County's graduating seniors returned to their old stomping grounds today to celebrate just how far they've come. The graduates roamed the halls in the former elementary schools to look back on their past memories made in those early years. The principal at Springdale says it's all about maintaining a connection with students.
It's amazing opportunity for us to see them again, to keep connected, to know that we value them even today like we did then. And I think this is a good connection.
We here at WGXA want to wish all the upcoming graduates the best of luck on their post-high school futures.
One Macon-Bibb Middle School nutrition manager is being recognized for her hard work in making sure that students at her school are well nourished. WGXA attended her celebration and spoke to her on what it means to be recognized for her constant dedication in this week's Making the Grade. Megan Alacio is the nutrition manager at Howard Middle School, and she got awarded by Bibb County School District officials on School Lunch Superheroes Day for her dedication to the students at Howard Middle School. She makes sure they're always eating well-rounded meals that include lean protein, low-fat or fat-free milk and fruits.
It's great. You know, we work really hard on good customer service and really making the kids feel welcome and serving good food.
According to schoolnutrition.org, School Lunch Superhero Day is a national celebration that was initiated by the School Nutrition Association in 2013. It celebrates the hard work that nutrition managers and lunch aides pour into students and schools on a daily basis. Alacio was presented with a VIP award and gifts during the celebration for all that she does for students at the middle school.
We want to make sure that students pick a balanced meal and that they get plenty of fruits and vegetables. You know, the students here really do love their vegetables and they do get fruit.
Howard Middle School's principal, Tony Jones, was in attendance for the celebration and commended Alacio and her staff for a job well done.
They're some of the hardest working unsung heroes in the school district. It's amazing for them to win a state award of this nature and be recognized like this.
Jones says one thing that makes Alacio stand out is her attention to the students and her ability to be flexible with the lunch menus so every student can eat. He says her award is one more thing Howard Middle School can take pride in. Reporting in Macon, Amanda Peralta, WGXA News.
And it is an active day across the mid-state with a lot of storms out there. In your midweek headlines, we do have a cold front that is sagging through that's bringing us the storms. This will stall out and give us a wedge setup for tomorrow. So it's all about location for temperature-wise, and that's really going to be cool down until the weekend when temperatures will finally start to rebound. Today, though, it's not really about the temperatures. It's more about what's out there on the radars. We have quite a lot of storms, some heavy downpours, frequent lightning strikes. Most of the strong storms right now are south of Macon, especially through areas in Houston and Macon counties, getting a lot of that frequent lightning. And notice on the radar, the darker, that red color, that's just that heavy downpour rain through Perry right now along 75 down towards Marshallville and Montezuma, getting the brunt of most of these storms right now. Although we still have a few more storms just south of Cochran, northeast of Hawkinsville, stretching down through Dodge County, southern Lawrence County, and over towards Soperton as well. Areas of Macon and northward, it's mostly just some light to moderate rain right now. Not a lot of lightning out here. This is about to move over really into Jones County and towards Milledgeville here over the next few hours. It still is a good idea to keep your eye to the skies. We do have a threat for some severe weather for the storms today. A 1 out of scale of 1 to 5 means we could see an isolated storm or two turn severe. The primary threat will be for damaging winds or large hail if we do see any severe storms. So for the day tomorrow, this front is still going to be over top of us, but the winds will be out of the northeast. Lots of clouds. It's going to be a rather dreary day for our Thursday. On Friday, the front finally is out of here. We'll have lots of clouds, but I think we will still get a few breaks of sunshine to end out the week. But for the timing, the rain, about 7 o'clock, we still have a few of those scattered thunderstorms out there lingering around until about 10 o'clock. I think we will still have some areas of rain, but most of the severe threat should be over at this time. And then tomorrow is a lot of a dreary day. We'll get showers through the late morning, early afternoon, lots of clouds in place. Don't think we'll see a lot of sun tomorrow. Temperatures will be cooler, but it'll mostly be a rainy day rather than the thunderstorms like we're getting today, mostly just some showers for tomorrow. And it's all about location for the temperatures tomorrow. Areas really in our northern counties, most likely only into the upper 60s, around 73 degrees for the high in Macon tomorrow, but areas to the south almost maybe making it up into the upper 70s, near 80s. So it's really going to be all about location for temperatures tomorrow, but lots of clouds and rather dreary day. So in your 10-day forecast for your Thursday, it's a cloudy, rainy, and dreary day. Showers by the afternoon, 73 degrees. On Friday, the front finally is out of here. We get some sun, but still a lot of clouds in the way. Less humid as well, 78 degrees. And then the summer pattern really returns for the weekend as temperatures begin to rebound. Summer pattern on Saturday, 81 degrees. We're staying below average on Sunday, the high 81 degrees. We still do have a chance for a stray shower or storm really every afternoon next week. And then temperatures begin to rebound. 83 degrees on Monday, 83 again on Tuesday, partly cloudy, 85 degrees for next Wednesday. And lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fishing Game forecast, peaks 1:40 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen, and today again, I'm here at the Animal Rescue Foundation in Milledgeville. I'm joined again with Aline, and guess who we have today? Who are we going to showcase?
So this is Bonnie. Bonnie is about a 2-year-old hound mix of some sort, maybe retriever. She is super, super sweet. She recently had puppies, but she's spayed now and up to date, so no more puppies for her.
She's finally going to let me pet her.
She's a little funny with cats, so we don't recommend a home with cats in it, but she's amazing.
She sure is, and she's about how old now?
Probably about 2.
She sure is checking me out. All right, if you would like to adopt Bonnie, how would they go about doing that, Aline?
So they're going to go over to our website at animalrescuefoundation.org, and they'll click on the How to Adopt tab. Come here, Bonnie. And we'll fill out the application and we'll be in touch.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and do that. Let's find Bonnie a really good home today. She needs it. Thank you so much, Aline.
Thank you.
One company is giving couples the opportunity to say I do in a venue that's out of this world, but it's not cheap. Space Perspective is offering couples a chance to get hitched in orbit using its carbon neutral balloon. The balloon spacecraft called Neptune has giant windows where couples and their wedding guests can see views of Earth. The company says Neptune will take off at 12 miles per hour, making it safe for people who can fly on an airplane. You might need to save up, though, to have your wedding here because it costs only $125,000 per seat. It's really not that bad. If that price doesn't faze you, the company is taking reservations for next year.
To go. It sounds like.
Do you think you would get married in there? I feel like you would.
I feel like I would too. That would actually be so much fun. I would love to see. I just love the Earth. That's why I'm a meteorologist. I've always loved Earth, and to be able to go up high in the sky where it's so quiet, and you see the curvature of the Earth. Like, wow, beautiful.
Would you do it, Greg?
No, I'll just look at photos here on planet Earth under gravity.
I've always wanted to go to space, but I don't know that I can justify the $125,000.
Oh, that alone would keep me grounded. That's all the time we have for you here,
They're playing
everybody.
that music in our ears.
They are.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.